right, is this, oh, we're on part 46 now. Part 46. Where's the stupid license? All right, great. Off we go. So, what happened here? Oh, yeah, I think I realized something when I looked at this. This required, so this was not here. So this is what we had before. And I looked at this and I thought, doesn't look quite right. And I realized, okay, so it's requiring, it's complaining, right? So what's the error message? The error message is, okay, well now it's different. All right, so what's the error message? Well, it's returning sysexit 2 because it's displaying the help because it's requiring this data flow path to the diagram command because the metadata is still set to required. So we can just say metadata required false, and then it should stop bugging us, or not. It's still bugging us. Default metadata required false. Print the config. So, yes, we are great. Okay. So we print the config, field data flow, type is correct, default factory. Okay. Okay, maybe we need to set default factory. Maybe it's telling us, basically to go screw ourselves because this is, and we're not seeing it because we shouldn't be setting. So let's take a look at required false. Okay. Required false. So let's omit required, see what happens. My guess is there's a problem with the merge. Okay, required false. Okay. Merge. All right, I don't know how many times we've printed this thing at this point, but okay. Data flow, config loader, simple display, looks good. Field name equals none. That's interesting. Name equals none. Let's set the name. Do the other ones have names? Make config. New class config. New class config. Field type. Field text. 7 keyword arguments were given. Field got unexpected keyword argument name, or field got unexpected name, yeah, okay. So this is what's getting created, data flow, default missing type. So why is that? Field modifications get field name. Maybe this is not the same. Right, so maybe we're not getting the overrides or overlay, whatever. Default factory, data flow, default. Got default factory. Got data flow, default factory. Is that happening in there? Okay, so okay, compare true, default factory, missing type. Okay, so the merge is not doing what we want it to because the lambda is not getting overlaid. So what's merge doing? All right, if key in one, why is it not getting set for key value in two items? Okay. Data flow. Field name, data flow, data flow. Okay, that's the same. Default factory. Okay, so we merged this thing with this thing. So default factory should have ended up in one. Why is it not in one? If key in one. If instance, okay. Okay. Okay, do we not? Okay. I think we were missing a case there. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we were missing a case. Okay. Okay. All right, so we found that we were missing a case from merge, util, okay, missing add, missing else to update non-dict. So basically, or and non-list values. Okay, so basically, what happened here, right? So it looks like we were trying to, okay, we merge. If the key already exists, we detect if it's a dictionary and we recursively merge the dictionary. If it's a list, then we append to the list. Otherwise, we forgot to actually just update the key. So, oops. But now we do that. So, because I think it looked like this falls through, but it does not. So, okay. Let's try to figure out where we were at here. Where's Ruffles? Oh, he's right there. Okay. And what do we do here? Ah, that's right. Oh, yeah, we did that testing stuff. Oh, great. We finally did that. This will help with that. Let's see. Hopefully, yeah, testing move core doc strings. Yeah, I think it is GH issue view 619. Okay, so this is related to this issue. All right, so test doc strings. So we omit the prefix when there's always the same. So test doc strings, refactor. Um, all right, so we refactored and we changed, which is not allowed. So what was the change? This. This was the change. So let's commit just the refactor first. Right, and now you can see it's not actually running. And then we'll put it back. Right, so now this is, right, so now we're seeing it down here. This is not staged. This is what's staged, right? So just the refactor. Test doc strings. Okay, so test doc strings, refactor, um, uh, population of all objects into recursive routine. Seems descriptive. Okay. And then we can add this, right? So now we can diff stage. So now after we git add, so we do git add tests test doc strings, then we do get diff dash dash staged, and we see that, okay, here's the is method, right? And so now we can make a commit where we can say test doc strings support for testing class methods. All right, fantastic. Okay, what else do we got? So it looks like we're getting a graph over there. Looks completely useless. Okay, fantastic. Um, maybe we'll actually have it go simple too. Um, okay. Okay, how do we do um, black format metadata? What is it that we want? Okay, maybe, let's see, data flow, and then simple default is true. Okay, so now Python dash. What was our little trick? Uh, single quote, left arrow, comma, single quote, right arrow, bang, Python dash m JSON.tool. Nope. Oh, Python 3 on the system. Didn't like that. Okay, it didn't like the Pythonized values. I think we can actually pipe through black too. Let's try that. There we go. Hey, that was great. Very nice. That's pretty convenient. So I tried to say simple. Let's see. So I thought there was a simple argument. Or, oh, it's not simple that we want. It's stage. Stages, right? Stages, yeah. Staged out processing. Graph TD. Yeah, it's like, okay, there's nothing here. Perfect. Okay. .config. Why is it printing? Oh, because this is a event loop is closed. Was never awaited. What? Error. Async test case dot tear down. Never awaited. Runtime. Uh-oh. What's happening here? I think we hit a bug. Diagram for my new error test doc string. Okay, so it gets mad because it got nothing. Expected nothing, got gravity. Okay. Is this one of those where it's running the same test case twice? This happens sometimes. Self.loop. Oh, okay. All right, so I think this is happening because of the way the loop variable gets passed, loop equals none. And maybe we're creating new event loop somewhere, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, get event loop. We probably don't want to do get event loop. We probably want async IO to run it for us. So this is the thing that does with the event loop. So it just passes. Okay. So if we just call underscore main, okay, if we just call underscore main, we're good. Great. Yippee! We generated a data flow. Okay. A diagram. And we have an example. Okay, util CLI command subclass with field overlay via merge. All right, push, push, push. Okay. Okay. So now where were we? Okay, so why were we even doing this? Get hash, okay. All right, okay. Oh, maybe we should run this command. or DFML service dev source diagram. Oh, okay, great. All right, so now what happens over here? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, no. I hate shells that delete history after 2,000 lines. I hate that. Why is it the default config? I thought I overrode that. Okay, sick of this. We're getting rid of this. It's depend on history. It's very useful in history. So it costs a lot of time. What is the maximum value? I think this overflows on some things because I've set it to too high of a value. I just want it to not go away. I hate this. This is so frustrating. Okay. Are you fucking kidding me? See, that's probably too big. Is it not being exported? Are you? Makes me very frustrated. Okay. Okay. So there we go. This is the command we wanted. Okay. Configure YAML. What the hell? We'll just put it in this directory. All right. So what are we doing? So we're saying dump that, remap to response data flow, T it to this, write the output via T to DFML main package overlay.yaml, and then pipe that through dataflow diagram and take the input from standard in there. File not found. Hey, hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? Hey, Sahil, how's it going? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Huh. I can't hear you. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hmm. Hello. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. It says you're talking. Hello, hello. Hmm. Uh, Discord, no audio. Oh, it's still going. Can I hear you now? Let's see. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, yeah, I can still can. Uh, hmm. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Let's see, what is this? Wait a minute. Mute. No, I'm not muted. Or wait. Yeah, I'm muted on the other computer, but I'm not muted here. I still can't hear you. I can see your green, but it's not showing up in the volume mixer even. Muted you specifically. How did I do that? User volume. Mute. No. Oh, I can try muting and unmuting. No. User volume. 200. No. Hmm. No. How? Permissions. Not private. Video speak. Okay. Okay, what is this? Speak allows members to talk in the channel if this permission is disabled. Okay, so careful. You have so what is this? General channel permissions. Disabling this in the connection. Speak allows members to talk in the channel if this permission is disabled. Members are default muted until someone with the mute member's permission unmutes them. Okay. Use voice activity. Okay. Did that work? Didn't you? We were on here before though. Use. How do I maintainer roles? Maybe this will help. Roles, maybe roles maintainer. Um, uh, okay, I'll just keep going then. Okay, so we're just doing. I'll try to check the chat periodic. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, great. You can hear me. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I'll just I'll just keep doing what I was doing. All right. So basically, what we're doing here is yeah, we're exporting this overlay. Um, we're dumping it through, and we had a problem with the. So basically, I introduced a bug with the diagram command. Well, I don't know if I would argue that I introduced this, quite honestly. Um, let's see what this looks like. Okay. Get single. Okay, this looks good. Data flow to be overlaid. Okay, so we added some more auto. So basically, we did some auto definition where we're beginning to unify the typing stuff with Python's type system. So basically, you can take new type from typing.new type, and you can write these turn into definitions. Okay, so seed get single spec get single output merge. Okay, so this is going to go through and okay, so this basically, yeah, this grabs the data flow, and so this is data flow to be overlaid. So this converts it into the thing. Okay, so then any data flow here from SRC from seed will get merged in, and then this merged one is the one that we need a way to link this across the output stage. Because to say that like, hey, this thing will go get this. Well, maybe, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I just realized this is something really ridiculous. These output operations didn't need to be like this at all. Okay. This is, all right. Okay. That's really funny. Okay. All right. This didn't even have to be like this. Oh, wow. Okay. Um, so this can actually just take directly from data flow as dict. Um, wow. Wow. That makes things a lot easier. Wow. Duh. Okay. Let's see what this looks like then. Wow. So this, in hindsight, seems extremely obvious. For the past 3 years, have not been doing this. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, all right then. Okay. So basically, we had these output operations, but there was really, well, this simplifies a lot. This makes a lot of things a lot easier. Um, So we were talking about how we're going to make these data. So basically, we are going to support a data flow as a class, right? And then we're going to call different output operations based on, what we want out of. So basically, we send different inputs to the data flow to run it, or like when the class is instantiated with the double context entry, the data flow starts running, right? Every time we call a method, we add specific inputs to it under a given context. And then we overlay specific output. Then we call specific output flow, which will then grab, the resultant data, right? And so, wow, I didn't realize how easy this was. Um, okay, well, that's fantastic. So once the processing stage is complete, then we move to the output stage. So this will, all of these have to run before we can go over here. At which point this SRC, so this dest is an object in memory. And if we were to look at the definition for it in this DFML main package overlay YAML, we would see that, yeah, the primitive is object, right? And so what do we know about things that the primitive is object? We basically means that we're not sure if we can serialize them across the network. It's really all it means right now. So we'll get more details on that as we flush it out. So, wow, I feel I feel very dumb for not realizing this for years. I don't know how many of these I've written. Um, okay, wow, wow, okay, all right then. Um, um, wow, okay, mind blown. All right, so we're going to, let's make sure, where's our nodemon command to run? Okay, so what is this? Service dev export. And what are we even doing? Oh, we're running Alice version. That's right. Okay, boom. All right, so now what's happening here? So when we run the Alice, oh, I think I have to fix my, let's see. Yeah, I think I have to fix the overlay. Boop, boop. Let's see. Transform, edit, transform. Right at bottom. Let's do 300, add 300 there. Or let's see, add 400 there and add 400 there. All right, there we go. So, oh, okay, or not. Okay, so okay, let's duplicate this. Okay. All right, well, that's interesting. Okay, so we can basically just say, okay, so what are we doing here? So basically, this is the default overlay. And when we run any data flow, and for our example, data flow is going to be vim entities Alice CLI. So our example data flow is just going to be running Alice's version command. What version of Alice are we on? And we talked about how eventually we're going to unify the command the command line stuff and the operations, and it's going to be the same thing. And under the hood, it's going to run a data flow. And we talked about the top level system context, and basically the top level system context is this first data flow that we execute, and then all within, we have this calling convention, which is, the system context, which is the what do you want me to do, the data flow, or the open architecture, which will then maybe have a data flow in it, um, and then the inputs, and then the orchestration. So how do you want it get done? Where do you want it done? So yeah, where do you want it done is the orchestration. How do you want it done is the data flow, and what do you want me to do it with is the inputs. Okay, so so we merged. Now we're running run dispatch. Outputs key error operations. So df memory run dispatch operation outputs key. So outputs operations. Merge outputs operations. Okay, so this is a problem with df. Oh, this is multi-output equals false. That's what we need there. Okay. All right, so we're doing a single output command. And we can't type hint these lambdas, but we could basically, this is equivalent to yeah. Yeah, let's see. Let's do read diff mal diff types. Okay, so this is going to do the same thing right now because the type the typing is very simplistic. So and we'll just call it data flow type. So to do fix or to do resolve or unify this data flow type used as an example to show auto typing dot new type conversion to definition, which is definition was our or is our pre-input lineage based mechanism for identification of a data type. Okay. So in this case, we could do this, and we could say it outputs a, oh, it doesn't output anything. Would you look at that? Oh yeah, it's just a raw update. So, all right, so this is the same thing. So, same thing. Uh, mm, as okay, function has no object. Replace merge. Oh, Can we wrap it there? I thought it auto wrapped it. Oh no, it doesn't auto wrap it if you pass it. So if you pass it here, merge, it'll auto wrap it, but it doesn't auto wrap it if you pass it via the other one. Okay, because this is an op imp and or let's see, new type to definition not defined. Oh, what's that? Where's that coming from? Vim dfml df base. We had a patch which did this the other day, but we must not have carried it along with us. Where's that handy dandy command here? Git grep. So we read in the output of git grep. It's in dfml df types. Oh, here. Okay. Merge in both blank and blank. Okay, so data flow merge. Let's try this. All right, so the auto export of everything is complaining. Okay. Where are we at? So data flow from dict. Okay, so it went through and it merged it. Okay, great. Oh, so it didn't like the lambda. Wait a minute. Why didn't you like the lambda? So, oh, a cat. All right, so, well, didn't like the lambda. Interesting. So, we have a data flow now. Looks like it output a real data flow. That's fantastic, right? So this is the one with the overlays applied. Are we still on default? We still are on default. So we're still, so remember now the overlay process is twofold. So first, if we're not provided with an overlay on run, then we're going to go in and load the default overlays as they are registered via the entry point system. All right, so here the entry points, so dfml.overlay, dfml equals dfml.overlay.overlay, and then main package overlay, right? And this is the main package overlay. Well, what is that? Well, it's a data flow which will execute, and when we execute the data flow, so this is why, okay, so and this is getting confusing, and watch why. So because when we load the default, we execute the flow using data flow to be overlaid. Okay. So we execute the flow using class.load definition data flow to be overlaid. Okay, so basically this is data flow after overlays applied, data flow merge. Merge is data flow type. So we want to say basically add all these things. Okay. All right, so now we can say add, the data flow. So basically we have a blank data flow, which is to be overlaid on the default flow. So we're instantiating all of the default installed overlays. Well, what are we overlaying them? We're going to combine them all together into one data flow, right? And then we're going to execute them on the um, on the when we so okay, so where's the mermaid diagram? So this is blank when we're loading the default flow. And then these are all coming from the seed data flow. All of these come from the entry points, right? So we're going to load over all the entry points, right? And so in this case, we're providing this data flow type, which is going to be passed to merge. So which is going to be here, see data flow. So we're going to provide everything from class.load, which means anything registered under dffml.overlay will be merged into this empty data flow, and then will be returned this data flow object. Uh, oh, here we are. So merge, processing, merge. Okay, inputs. Okay, so I think it picked up so it looks like destination blank. Okay, so this was the blank. Here's the blank one. So we merged it, and the thing is we're merging it with itself, remember, because this is the only one that it's installed. So we so we manually grab it here, right? Or we grab we hard code grab it. We use it because this thing will take any data flows that are applied, merge them together, and return the merged one, right? So then we add all the data flows to merge together. Um, being the same data flow because it got loaded, right? And so now we're like, okay, well, what is the resulting? This should be this overlaid, right? So outputs data flow. So data flow from dict outputs data flow. I think this might be because we changed. No, okay. So data flow from dict outputs data flow. So adding a blank data flow. Sure, there are no overlays. Okay, so wait, we don't need to do this. Okay, so because we're adding a blank over data flow in seed. Okay, input set value. Definition data flow. Overlaid. Remount to response. Hmm. Data flow type. So what seemed like it was working? When we were here, we seemed like we were working. Okay, this is a pretty good place to be. What happens if we remove this? Oh, data flow to be overlaid, that's why. Okay, I need a blank sure. I need a blank flow. Adding a blank flow if there are no other overlays You end up just merging the input data flow, the blank overlay results and turn of the original data flow. Okay, so data flow to be overlaid. Okay, that's what happened. So this data flow to be overlaid is what we really want here on data flow merge. Okay, so data flow to be overlaid. Okay, so what about this data flow type? So this is actually data flow to be overlaid. Or let's see, no, this is the data flow. Okay, this is okay, we need to standardize this terminology here. Okay, so let's reset. So data flow used as overlay. Okay, data flow being overlaid. There we go. That's descriptive. Data flow being overlaid. Okay, so this is the data flow being overlaid as dict. Okay, so where's this data flow as dict? Data flow being overlaid as dict. Okay. No, this data flow as dict is not used. Okay, so data flow being overlaid as dict. Data flow to be overlaid. Okay, so that's a bad name. Okay, so data flow, what time is it? Okay, I got the UCAN meeting here at 10. Okay, data flow to be overlaid. So this is really data flow to be overlaid. Okay, data flow to be overlaid. Okay. So inputs, data flow to be overlaid. Data flow being overlaid. Data flow being overlaid as dict. Data flow to be overlaid. Data flow to apply as overlaid. Okay. 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 So we say run the main overlay. Okay, so we say data flow to apply as overlay, and we pass in all the ones which we want to apply as overlays. Okay. All the ones that are applied as overlays. Okay, so all the ones to apply as overlays. Data flow to apply as overlay. Data flow to apply as overlay. Okay, and then we add a blank one, just because if we don't have a blank one in there, and there's none in the list, we're going to end up with nothing in the output. Okay. So data flow to apply as overlay. Okay. And then Okay. So then we need an input data flow. Okay, and that's where what this was doing already. So the data flow to be overlaid. The data flow to be overlaid. Data flow being overlaid. All right, and this is a blank data flow in this case. And this is something, so this needs to exist. Okay, so this will be related to that allow list. So for example, so this needs to be okay, so should be in, okay, okay, so, and this is where it's like, okay, I think maybe relates to data flow as class, methods as if they were allowed list or arguments. So maybe the data, what we're seeing here is really this invocation of the data flow is really an invocation of a method, which I believe it is, where what we're really seeing here when we do this orchestrator.run is that we're calling a data flow as class method and we're passing these parameters. And so our input validation can be done on the method call. And the method call can be done via an operation. So, okay, so for this input objects for this call are equivalent to the arguments of a data flow as class method. A method is simply an operation within the data flow which serves as a place to add other inputs within context to the data flow, perhaps within their own context even, but by default, no. Okay, so it serves as a place to add but by default, same context as the operation for the method was executed in. Okay, so when we call a method, we're going to create a new context, which will be, it'll have a unique identifier, and it'll have, yeah, it'll have a unique identifier, right? And it will be related to, basically, okay, so method call, create new context as input object, context maintains link to parent context. Okay, so this is how we're going to create, this massive database of everything, of all of everything. So, okay, div is not defined. Okay, all right, there we go. So output data flow from dict. Looks like that was called twice. So why was that called twice? Okay, so data flow being overlaid. And this output operation takes data flow being overlaid as dict. Okay, so that's wrong. So this should take, or no, as dict to apply as overlay. So that's wrong. So this should just take data flow being overlaid. Data flow being overlaid turns into data flow being overlaid as dict. Outputs. This is just output operations. They're just, we don't even, okay, wait a minute. We don't even, wow, this is all so much easier. We don't even need any of this remap stuff. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Years. Okay. Well. All right. Well. Wow. Oh my God. It's so much easier. Okay. Well, this is fantastic news. Okay. Data flow has a no attribute apply. Okay. So this thing is a okay, yeah, so it loads the data flow and then it's not gonna, yeah, so results overlaid, and we'll just say overlay. Okay, so overlay default, overlay apply. So yeah, an overlay is just data flow, really. Overlay default. Let's maybe say overlay default. Okay, so it returns an instance of the class. Um, and okay, we'll just make a config. And we'll say it requires data flow. The data flow to be used for overlaying. So there's basically this translates into like an overlay underscore apply operation, I believe. I wonder how the class method will work. Okay, so we can call this a base data flow facilitator object. Should it follow the double context entry pattern? Probably. Okay, overlay. Okay, so maybe. Okay, so maybe this thing is like, let's go look at the, okay. If overlay is load default, then we say overlay equal overlay.default. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't a wait here because apply. Hmm. Let's go back. I think we're close to something here. I think we're close to something important. We are close to something important. I can feel it. We're close to the UCAN meeting in 2 minutes. Okay. Fuck. I think we're close to unifying the CLI. Okay, let's look for where subflow is. Okay, subflow. Subflow creates new context. Okay. OCTX run. Subflow. Self-config data. Data flow to be used for Data to be used for applying overlays. Okay, it's 10. I think this is turning into an operation. I think there's something happening here. I think that might be it. All right, I have to run.